Hi everyone, it's lovely to see you all. I want to bring you, I've heard lots of talk recently about how many squats you're all doing. And squats are an amazing exercise. Um, they're so good for training so many of the giant muscles in the body. But you might have noticed the downside to squats is the day after you've done the squats or any kind of strong leg exercise, maybe long run, long cycle ride, the day after, you'll know what I'm talking about if you've ever struggled to go to the bathroom. When you're doing that kind of walk down the wall or kind of holding onto things that are nearby because your legs hurt so much when you try to sit down. So what I want to do is give you just a really, really short yoga flow that will loosen off that tightness. So that tightness is a result of the muscle working. It's the muscle doing its job. It's delayed onset muscle soreness, or otherwise known as DOMS, otherwise sometimes referred to as the ache of achievement. But if you're feeling it, it can set your whole day back. You know, struggling to get down the stairs, it can feel really awful. So I want to give you just a little flow, probably about 10 minutes, maybe a bit shorter, that will loosen off some of that tightness and will get you a little bit more mobility. I can't promise to take the pain away, but it will get you a little bit more mobility and will get you going for your day. The best thing you can do for that DOMS is to keep moving. The longer you sit still, the worse that ache is going to get. So hopefully these moves will get you going and get you ready for your next workout. So find yourself standing on your feet. You don't need a mat. I've not got a mat. No mat needed. Just find yourself a clear bit of space. Big breath in, the arms are coming up and overhead. Go slowly into this. It doesn't need to be the biggest movement you've kind of made today. You might choose to interlace the fingers and push the palms of the hands up towards the ceiling and then just have a bit of a wiggle there if it's available, if you can bear it. Maybe wiggling the body side to side. Maybe you feel kind of ready for the delicious discomfort of pressing the hips out from one side to the other. If that's too much, don't do it. If it's too much just yet, don't do it. Bit of a wiggle here. We'll come back and stop in the middle. Find yourself in center. Big inhale. Exhale. Bend your knees. Really, really, really bend your knees as you bring yourself into that forward fold. Come down nice and carefully. Fingertips to find the floor. If the fingertips are nowhere near the floor because everything's feeling very tight, hands just lightly on your knees. Just really lightly, not putting any weight through. Fingertips or hands on your knees. And we're just going to walk the knees out. So we're just going to pedal. If you've got hands on knees, it's a higher lifted pedal. If you've got fingertips have made it to the floor, you're pedaling one knee and then the other. Go really slowly. I appreciate if you're really feeling it with the pain in your glutes, hamstrings, maybe even some kind of tightness going on in the lower back. This might be a place where you want to let rip a few choice words, feel free to do that. Maybe you're lifting the heels as well. That might just get you a little bit more movement, make things a little bit easier. Let the head go. Try not to take that tension into the jaw or the face. When you feel ready, and you can stay here for as long as you like, remember, you're going to use the fingertips to just stabilize gently as you send your right leg back and bring your right knee down to the ground. Your right knee is coming down to the ground and you want your left knee stacked directly over your left ankle, and your fingertips can keep on the floor to stabilize you here if you need them. Again, if fingertips on the floor is a bit of a reach, a bit too far, both hands can come to rest on that front knee just quite gently. And from here, I'll keep my hands out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. From here, you're going to keep the body upright. You're not sinking into a back bend, but you are going to start to nudge the hips forwards as if you're sliding the hips towards that front knee. So the difference between that and the back bend is if I want the back bend, I'll slide my hips towards my front heel. So there's lots more space. Instead, I'm looking to slide my hips towards my front knee, keeping everything pretty level, the body stays upright. You'll get more going on in that right glute, and also more going on in the front of the right hip flexor. Keep pulling the belly in so you've got that lift in the body. If you're down on your fingertips, same sensation applies. You're coming forwards, 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 forwards. Try to avoid down, down, down. Nice. Take a last breath here. And then when you're ready, fingertips are coming back to the floor as slowly as you need to. You're going to send the hips back. And as you send the hips back, this is another moment where it might really feel like it's a little too intense. It might be that this left leg just isn't going to go straight, and it doesn't have to. You can keep a bend in the knee, but what I'd like you to think about is lifting these left toes and digging the left heel down, and you'll notice the difference. When I dig my left heel down, I'm able to send that left hip bone up in line with my right, even though there's a little micro bend in my left knee. You can breathe steady here. You might choose, if you want to use the breath for a bit of a ripple, a lift on your inhale, a bit of length on your exhale maybe, but you don't have to. You can just stay here and swear as loud as you like, as long as there aren't children around. Take your last breath here. And then a slightly tricky transition. You're going to walk the fingertips back. You're going to swing the right heel in just a touch, so you can sit the bum down on the floor. If that didn't work for you, the shape that we're going to come to is your separate leg stretching, your Janisharasana, except for that's not what we're coming into. We're going to lift the right heel gently and just place it over the left knee. And it's as simple as that, although that might feel very intense. You can use your right hand to support your right knee if you need to. So you can just keep it lifted there. Or if you're leaning into the delicious discomfort, you can use your right hand to very gently encourage your right knee down and away. The away part of this is more interesting to me than down. So it's almost as if you're encouraging the right knee in the direction of where your leg would extend to, if you're extending out the leg. So not pressing directly down, but encouraging outwards. Take a last breath here. And then when you're ready, you're releasing that right leg, bringing two heels out in front, slide your hips to your heels and lay your body down on your back. Coming down onto your back, you're going to do exactly the same thing again, but it's slightly more intense now we're down on our back. So we use that one as a little bit of a warm-up, feeling our way into it. We're now going to cross the right heel over the left knee. Keeping these right toes flexed, it's going to keep the muscles in the front of the leg activated. It's going to provide more activity in the stabilizers around your knee. If that's something that you feel like you need, keep this foot switched on. Again, you've got the choice of pressure against the front of that thigh if you want it, and maybe that is enough for you. Maybe you're going to stay here, breathe here. Of course, lots of you will also know that you've got the option of giving this leg a hug in, but chances are that might feel inaccessible today. And if it does, this is a perfectly valid place to be. Perfectly valid place to hang out. The belly draws down, the lower back is nicely imprinted on the floor. You're getting a good stretch in the hip and the glute on the right hand side. Take a last breath here. And then when you're ready, you're going to hold on to your right knee, draw your left knee up and into your chest, and you're going for a kind of wide but gentle happy baby. So the knees are just outside the edges of the body, and you might just find a little roll side to side here. So nice way to kind of press into the lower back as if you're trying to imprint it into the ground, but also you can get a bit of a roll across the top of the bum, which might feel quite nice, a little bit of sort of self-massage there. Once you're done with that, hands find the backs of the knees, and you're going to start to roll up and down the spine. If that doesn't suit you, roll gently over onto one side and press yourself up to sit. We'll meet seated. We're meeting sitting so that we can use our hands to press ourselves back. It doesn't have to be beautiful, up to your forward fold where we started. And again, you might give the legs a pedal. You might give the legs a bit of a stretch, a bit of a wiggle. And as soon as you feel ready, you're stepping the left leg back. The left knee finds the floor, and again, and you're looking for either fingertips to stay down on the floor or hands come to find the front knee, but you're not dropping into the shape. You're just gently trying to, as if somebody had kind of put the cord of your dressing gown around the back of your hips, and they were towing your hips forwards in space. That's what you're after. Hips are traveling forwards in the same direction as the knee. Stretches in the front of the left hip flexor, but you also might feel some activity in the left glute. That would be a totally kind of normal place to feel stuff switch on. Left glute switching on, right hip switching off, stretching here, but there might be activity in the glute. Take a last breath here. And then from here, we're walking it back nice and slowly. So this might be a place where there's a lot of noise, a lot of activity, a lot of tension from those sore, tired muscles. Keep the right knee bent, sorry, if you need to. I want you to focus on lifting your right toes and driving your right heel down into the ground, allowing you to level off the back of the heel so you're not leaning too much over towards your left. Couple of breaths here, keeping things moving if you need to. So A little rock backwards and forwards goes a long way in making these shapes bearable. Take a last breath here. When you're ready, you're folding in the left foot, giving yourself a bit of space so you can come to sit down. And we're just going to find that warm up for our hip opener. So bringing the left heel across the right knee. Again, you've got the option of hand underneath the knee, supporting the knee completely, or hand gently finding the front of the thigh and encouraging the knee away in the direction that the leg would extend if that's something you're interested in. Nice steady breath here. When you're ready, we'll release this left leg long. We'll scooch the hips to the heels and lay ourselves down on our back. Release yourself down onto the floor. And this time, bringing the left ankle up and across the right knee. Left ankle up and across the right knee. And don't forget, you've got lots of options here to play with. You can keep the left toe switched on, pulling back towards the knee to keep the muscles in the front of the leg active, the knee stabilized. You can use the left hand against the front of the thigh to encourage the knee away from the body. Belly is not tight, but drawing down, keeping the lower back engaged with the floor. You've also got the option, if you really feel like you want to lean into it, to reach and catch hold of the back of this right thigh, drawing the leg in and down. See if, I'll show you something that tends to happen with me, see if you can draw the right knee in a straight line, rather than drawing it across the body and in. You roll over towards your left. See, trying to exaggerate that shape for you, but see if you can draw right knee to right shoulder. If you're going for that. If you're not going for that, this is a great place to be. Take a last breath here. And then something a bit different, we're going to unhook this left ankle, and instead of coming straight into the happy baby, we're going to find more of a roll against the lower back, against the top of the bum, by windscreen wiping the knees left and right. So in your own time, you're just going to let the knees fall one way, roll through center, and fall the other way. And not only is it kind of a lovely unwinding to the back body, but as you roll, you press against this top part of the bum and the hip, and it's a nice kind of version of a little bit of self-massage here. If you're really looking for some punishment, some torture, you might try rolling over onto a tennis ball or a massage ball on this side, and just making your way into it really slowly. We'll take a couple more rolls here. And when you feel ready, come to that wide knee, kind of soft leg, happy baby. So just bringing the knees to the chest and having a little bit of a rock, as much as you're able to. And from here, again, you've got choices. You can roll to one side and press your way up to sit, or you might choose to rock and roll up and down the spine, watching the head doesn't bump down against the floor. We'll meet seated. We'll just take a final breath seated. So sitting however you like. Hands can rest wherever you want. Let the body assume it's neutral, its comfortable position. Just being for a whole slow breath. A big slow inhale here. A slow, steady exhale. Thank you so much, guys. I hope that has helped. I hope you're able to walk downstairs now. I'll see you all really soon.